Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Happy Aura with Jenny. I am so incredibly grateful that you have chosen to spend some of your precious time with me today. Take a deep breath in through your nose, hold it for a moment, and let it out slowly through your mouth. Today, we are going to create a safe space to talk about something that touches the deepest, most tender parts of our hearts. We are going to talk about the search for love, and specifically, why it often feels so incredibly heavy. If you have been out there in the dating world recently, you might have used the word brutal to describe your experience. Now, on the surface, using a word like brutal might sound a little bit hyperbolic. It might sound dramatic, or perhaps even a tiny bit self-pitying when we apply it to an activity that, from the outside, looks quite pleasant. After all, the outward requirements of dating usually involve attending romantic restaurants with soft lighting, ordering nice glasses of wine, sharing small plates of olives or cheese, and perhaps, at certain points, exchanging shy kisses near a bus stop or a taxi rank. To the outside world, particularly to those who are already happily coupled up, this description of brutality is confusing. Those who have been in relationships for a long time, perhaps 5 or 10 years, can be forgiven for wondering what on earth the fuss might be about. They look at your life and see freedom. They see variety. They see the excitement of meeting someone new. However, for those of us who know this activity from the inside, for those of us who are currently in the trenches, suffering from waves of despondency and fury, the reality is very different. For those of us who have found ourselves bursting into uncontrollable tears after yet another disappointment, the word brutal is not an exaggeration. In fact, it may be a severe understatement. I want you to know that if you feel this way, you are not crazy and you are not weak. The reasons for this intensity are multiple, and they are valid. First, we have to acknowledge that this is not just about an evening out. What is at stake extends far beyond a single encounter with a stranger. This is not simply about the quest for an interesting conversationalist to pass a Friday night with. It is not just about finding a new sexual partner to share a bed with for a few weeks. When we sit across the table from someone new, what we are actually negotiating is our very long-term future. We are asking the acute, terrifying question of who will be there when our heart spasms in our chest. We are asking who will be there when we are too frail to make it across the living room unaided. We are asking who will be holding our hand when we can barely remember our own names. The evening, so innocuous in its outward form, so enlivened by the arrival of a smiling waiter asking if we would like the bouillabaisse or the steak, is in essence a referendum on whether or not we must die alone. Beneath the outward lightness of the occasion, beneath the casual questions about whether you prefer fries or salad, lies a piercing existential cry. The soul is screaming a question into the void. When will I find a home? When will I find a place where I can rest? This is why the rejection hurts so much. It is not just a rejection of your outfit or your conversation. It feels like a rejection of your survival. Then there is the cycle of hope. This is perhaps the most exhausting part of the neuroscience of dating. We would never arrange a meeting without the thought that perhaps, just perhaps, we may now finally have stumbled on an answer. The human brain is wired for optimism. We know, or at least the sensible, logical part of us knows, that the odds are extremely slim. This exercise has probably been going on for months, maybe even years. You have likely been on 50 or 60 dates that went nowhere. Yet, on so many occasions, we have set out into the night in our smart, yet demure outfits, fueled by a fresh spike of dopamine. We spend an hour getting ready, fixing our hair, checking the mirror, telling ourselves that this one might be different. We project a fantasy onto a person we have not even met yet. We imagine the holidays we might take, the comfort we might feel, only to find, within a few minutes of the candidate's arrival, that the illusion shatters. Of course, the photos were, once again, deceptive. Of course, the manner was very strange. Perhaps their views on astrology are maddening, or their curiosity about your life is non-existent. Suddenly, you realize that the next 40 minutes or 3 hours will not be the start of a romance. Instead, they will be a polite hell haunted by the specter of eternal solitude. You have to sit there, smiling and nodding, while your internal world collapses. You have to watch your hope die in real time over a plate of cold pasta, and then summon the strength to pay the bill and walk away with your dignity intact. That crash from high hope to absolute despair takes a massive toll on your nervous system. We also have to talk about the million ways in which someone can be wrong. Of course, we do not want to be fussy. We tell ourselves to be open-minded. It is obviously not in our interest to keep spotting issues. We want to find love, but nor can we magically erase the doubts or the sexual or mental incompatibilities that arise. We cannot force attraction where there is none. We cannot force an intellectual connection with someone who does not understand how our mind works. It is hell because an urgent, primal need for love collides with absurdly non-negotiable criteria for acceptance. We are caught in a trap between our desperate desire to connect and an erratic flow of viable candidates. No wonder we may, despite our university degrees, our successful careers, and our outward philosophically manner, end up on the bathroom floor in the fetal position. No wonder we find ourselves screaming in incandescent sorrow to a non-existent God. The frustration is not just about being picky. It is about the agony of seeing water when you are dying of thirst, but realizing the water is salt water and you cannot drink it. Then there is our powerlessness. This is a painful truth we must face. on the very rare occasions when we do find we like them quite a lot, the problems really start. Because falling in love is a vulnerability. You meet someone and the spark is there. They seem perfect. They are funny, they are kind, they are attractive. But then the other shoe drops. They like us a lot too, really they do. They enjoyed the evening so much. But it is just that they are in a different place right now. Maybe they are still finding their feet after a chaotic breakup that happened 6 months ago. Maybe their children need extra attention and they cannot commit to a partner. Maybe they are thinking that polyamory might be for them at this point, while you are searching for monogamy. And of course, we are so understanding. We nod, we smile, we say we understand completely. We say it would be such an honor to be their friend or their occasional sexual playmate. We suppress our own needs to appear cool and unbothered. But can we really be condemned if, after the 20th time of hearing this same speech, we reach a breaking point? Can we be blamed if we want to push back our chair, fall to our knees, smear ourselves in a plate of tahini or garlic mayonnaise, and attempt to impale ourselves on the bread knife in front of our stunned fellow diners and the puzzled waiting staff? The suppression of our own desire over and over again creates a pressure cooker within the soul. And here is the deepest layer, the part that we rarely talk about in polite society. It is every rejection you have ever had, when a date goes wrong, or when someone ghosts you. It may seem to be only about Abda from Mumbai or Sophie from Peckham. It seems like a localized event. But deep down, it is never just about the person in front of you. It is also about your awful mother who was never there when you needed her. It is about your father who bullied you or ignored you. It is about the people who hated you at school and made you feel small. It is about the partner who left you ambiguously after a 5-year relationship that you did everything in your power to save. Everyone tells us it is not personal. They say, "Don't take it to heart, Jenny. It's just a date." But our unconscious mind knows better. It could not be more fearful or more fucking personal. This feels like the universe reconfirming its fundamental verdict on us. It feels like a cosmic judge banging a gavel and declaring that we are unworthy. It feels like we are a piece of vermin, and the gods are vengefully urinating on us from on high. Every rejection rips the scab off an ancient wound. We are not just grieving the loss of a stranger. We are grieving the cumulative loss of love over a lifetime. Worse still, we cannot comfortably play the victim for long. The cycle of dating is cruel because it forces us to be both the victim and the executioner. Even as we process our own rejections, we are called upon to perform an equal or greater number of our own assassinations. We have to be the ones to say no. We have to talk sweetly to unsuitable suitors about our busyness and our hopes for warm friendships, when in reality, we just want them to go away. We have to look into the hopeful eyes of another human being and crush their dreams because we simply do not feel the spark. We can't, in the midst of our ordeals, even think of ourselves as particularly nice people. We feel guilty. We feel shallow. We feel like we are part of the problem. Rejecting someone is as bad as being rejected because it erodes our sense of empathy. We become hardened. We start to treat people like products on a shelf, discarding them for the slightest flaw, and that makes us feel hollow inside. And finally, there is the exhaustion. My goodness, the exhaustion. We are so tired. It is a fatigue that goes down to the bone. Ostensibly, we haven't done very much at all. We just went for dinner. We just had a drink. But emotionally, we have run a marathon. We are tired of our uncertain destinies. We are tired of the repeated encounters with our unbudgeable fussiness. We are tired of the wrongness of everyone we meet. We are tired of our own mental instability, questioning if we are the problem. We are tired of the hours lost to swiping on apps, staring at blue light until our eyes burn. We are tired of the continuous cycles of felling and being felled. It leads to a spiraling internal monologue. What is so awful about us? Who did we kill in a previous life to deserve this karma? Why is everyone either unavailable or unappealing? Why is this so hard for us when it seems so easy for everyone else? Where are they? How can we find the strength to keep going? We feel fragile. We feel like we are 2 bad dates away from the locked ward of a psychiatric hospital. We haven't just been out for dinner. We haven't just met someone for a chat. We have once again attempted to find a respite from cosmic alienation, and we have failed. The silence of our apartment after a bad date is deafening. So, my dear friends, I want to tell you this. You deserve a lot of understanding. If you are feeling this way, please be gentle with yourself. You are navigating a minefield with an open heart, and that is an act of bravery. You are not failing. You are surviving a process that is inherently difficult. Ideally, before much longer, when the gods finally stop laughing up there on Mount Olympus, you will catch a lucky break. The timing will align. The person will be right. The walls will come down. But until then, please do not punish yourself for finding this hard. It is hard. It is brutal. And it is okay to admit that. I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Visualize a warm, golden light surrounding you. This is your happy aura. It protects you. It reminds you that your worth is not determined by your relationship status. Your worth is not determined by a swipe left or a swipe right. You are whole, all on your own. Take care of your heart today. Maybe delete the apps for a week. Maybe take yourself on a date to a place you love. Maybe call a friend who reminds you of your value. Do whatever you need to do to replenish that energy. You are worthy of love, and you are worthy of rest. Thank you for listening, and remember to be kind to your mind.